Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we are at the Five Flags Speedway for the season finale of the Coastline Surf 200 with the Winter Challenge Series. 200 laps the distance coming into this evening. The point difference between your top two is just 1 point. Ryan Tedeschi has a 1 point advantage over Derek Kraus. 12 points back is Riley Stenjum. Kristen Swanson, 16 back, so still four drivers in this hunt for the championship. As qualifying taking place right now. Let's look at the track here tonight, Five Flags Speedway. 91-degree track temp here tonight. The sun shining on this surface is going to allow the tires to heat up. It's going to be a long race, 200 laps. The longest race we've had this season. Definitely going to be an exciting one. We got a couple cars still going in qualifying. Derek Kraus, who is second in points, jumps up to the second spot. He may get some qualifying points, but Riley Stenjum right now at the top of the board. Get the tower up on the left side. "22 cars have taken time. We've got 24 starting spots available here tonight. I do believe everybody's going to make it into the field, but they will have a last chance qualifier. Look at the qualifying results here. And not sure what is going on with the results. Try that one more time. Maybe not. All right. All right. Well, no results for us, it seems, just yet. We do have our starting grid here for the last chance qualifiers. So Nick Fredrickson, Kenny Storkson, Anthony Danta, and Carter Stark going to take us 15 laps around the Five Flags Speedway before we kick off tonight's 200-lap feature event. Your top 4 in points this season all have a win on the season. Riley Stenjum, your third place. Your driver third in points right now. Your most recent winner with the Winter Challenge Series. He won the 125-lap race at Iowa last week. And that was a pretty exciting one. It went right down to the wire. Steele Langford just shy of 3 in a row. He got second in that one. Derek Kraus, who was second in the points, last went to victory lane at Thompson back on January 12th. So it's been a little while for that 9 machine. And actually, I believe I misspoke. Ryan Tedeschi, your points leader, does not have a win so far this season. Consistency has been the name of the game for him. He's got 5 top 5s and 7 top 10 finishes. As the pace car is making a couple laps here. I don't think we're going to have any actual cars on track for this last chance qualifier. Like I said, I believe everybody made it through from qualifying. And there we go, qualifying results right there. Steve Wright was the last car to transfer in, but Riley Stenjum faster by 3/1000ths of a second. You look at the times on the right side, all the way back to the 20th spot, inside 0.2 of a second. A pretty close field. Sure, we're going to see a lot of drivers moving around this racetrack. The inside lane's going to be the preferred lane at first, but I'm sure we'll see some people start to move up to that outside lane, especially after tires get put on the race cars. Five Flags, one of the longer tracks for late model stocks, but we did just run Iowa, so that was the longest track on the schedule. Not quite that big here tonight, but half mile in length. Should make for an exciting race here tonight. I believe my first broadcast with this group of cars was this race 1 season ago, the season finale last season in the Winter Challenge Series. I was not sure what's happening behind the scenes right now. Pace car's still doing laps. And I think the session will advance through itself here shortly. But while this is here, we're going to look through the rest of our top 10 in the point standings. Some of the gaps are close, even further back. Anthony Danta, 5th, only 17 points back. So he may still be in the running as well if there's some trouble up in front of him. And now I think it's time for our warm-up session. So 3 minutes. These guys are going to have to get prepared for this 200-lap race. We're going to also have 3 minutes. We're going to take a quick step away, grab a drink of water, grab whatever you need, because once we go green, it's going to be go time. You're not going to be able to leave your seat. So be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network for tonight's Coastal Surf 200. Alrighty, folks, we are back, ready to get this show on the road. The warm-up underway right now. And for whatever reason, the camera's not cooperating too well. Trying to get that working. Timing and scoring has not cooperated with us this season too well. But I think we should be all good now. There we go. We can swap away. Anthony Danza in the 51, making his final practice laps before we send them loose. These guys are going to have one set of tires in the pits for this 200 lappers, so that's going to be the key thing here tonight. Keep the tires on it. You want to keep a nice low line and not let the car push up off the corner. That's going to be a key factor here this evening. The winner last season after 300 laps was Scotty Gardner in the 109 machine here tonight. Went to victory lane after a hectic race at the Five Flags Speedway. Hopefully tonight's race does not bring as much chaos as we saw last season. But it is time for the field to make their way to the starting grid. And we're going to meet tonight's starting lineup for the Coastal Surf 200. The invert was a 10 from the qualifying time, so on the pole, is going to be Alex Papini in the 47 here tonight. Trying to get our starting grid up on the screen for you guys. Alex Papini going to roll off on the pole. Scotty Gardner, last year's winner in this race, going to start second. Eddie Dabrowski third in the 29. Eric White going to start from the 4th spot in the number 6. Rob Nelson going to roll off 5th in the 199. Tristan Swanson going to start 6th. To his outside, he's going for a championship here tonight. In the 7th spot on the bottom, going to be the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., and then Trent Smith in the number 3 machine going to roll off to his outside. Your field down through turns 3 and 4. Field in the hands of that 47 machine. They're going to make their way down into the restart zone. And for the final time this season, we are green in the Winter Challenge Series here at the Five Flags Speedway. Down into turns 1 and 2. Papini and Gardner going to battle side by side down the back straightaway. Gardner up on the outside lane. Peeks ahead into turn number 3, but here comes Papini on the bottom. Drag race to the line. Leader of lap number 1, give it to Gardner, but just barely. The 199, or 109 rather, up on that outside lane. The 199 is in the 5th spot, battling underneath Tristan Swanson. Swanson in the 91 on the outside lane. Trying to be patient early on. He's got the 29 of Eddie Dabrowski up in front of him, also on that outside lane. Rob Nelson goes by in the 199. Everybody at this moment just trying to get in their rhythm, trying to settle in. You don't want to lose the race early on. You can't win the race early on, but you definitely can lose the race early on. Scotty Gardner in the 109 up on that outside lane. Letting a couple cars by right there. Looks like he may be wanting to play a little strategy here. Move to the back early on. And there we go. Time and scoring up on the left side of your screen now. Papini in the 39 out front, or sorry, 47. A little bit different look here tonight for Alex Papini. Ty Fredrickson in the 36, looking underneath Eddie Dabrowski down into turn number 1. The 36 machine looking for a good run here tonight. He's 15th in the point standings, one top 5 finish. Only has 7 starts this season, though. Brett Smith in the 3, the next driver underneath Dabrowski. 29 machine wanting to take it easy early on. You see him not putting too much of a fight up when these cars get to his inside. Just wants to stay calm early. Fight at the end. That's a mentality shared by a lot of the drivers in this field. Riley Stenjum in the 77 machine, battling with Adam Powers right there. Tristan Swanson in the 91. He wants to work his way forward. Haven't seen a lot of speed out of him this second half of the season. He does have 2 wins this season. The last one coming at New Smyrna. These last few races, that 91 machine has lacked some of the speed that we've seen. We'll see if he can find it when it counts here tonight. Your points leader, Brian Tedeschi, not in the field. Not sure where Brian Tedeschi is, but a tough break for the guy who came into the evening with the points lead. Front, Alex Papini continues to show the way. He's got Eric White and Rob Nelson on his back bumper. A couple car lengths back. But everybody at this moment knows that the best thing you can do is keep your tires cool. You see everybody taking a nice straight line up off the corner. A couple cars down there scraping that flat. Not the best thing to do here. Tends to break the car a little sideways when you do that. But everybody doing a good job right now maintaining their equipment. Adam Powers once again down to the inside of Nick Fredrickson. Powers going to take that spot away. Fredrickson didn't put up too much of a fight, and that's what we see a lot early on. Everybody wanting to save their equipment, keep tires for the end. It's very easy to overheat the right rear tire in these late model stocks, and you see it time and time again. Everybody pushes a little bit too hard, and suddenly they start falling backwards as soon as they make up a bunch of ground. And that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on all night long, for sure. We have 22 cars on the lead lap. Steve Wright, about a half a lap behind your race leader. So Papini not quite to lap traffic, but could be creeping in here. We got a 5-car breakaway out front. Derek Kraus in the 9 machine tried to make an aggressive move right there, or tried to make a move, and there was an aggressive counter move from Danny Mann in the 10 machine. Now Mann going to be forced to give that inside lane. Down the backstretch, the 9 machine to the inside. It's tough to pass and complete the pass without doing something like that. You saw Kraus slide up in front of the 10 machine and then play a little defense down the straightaway. He should be able to set sail now. Kraus would inherit the points lead with Brian Tedeschi missing tonight. Kristen Swanson going to be a little bit closer as well, even though the gap only was 1 point. Up front, Joe Schaefer Jr. starting to close the gap on Rob Schaefer, and actually your top 5 all starting to come together a little bit here. Papini never really had a big advantage, but the cars behind him starting to close the gap. That's Ty Fredrickson there in the 36, right behind Schaefer in the 6 machine. And they've really closed that gap up to Rob Nelson. Looks like he's having a little bit of connection issues. Always makes it tough to pass somebody who's blinking in and out. You don't want to hit them in the wrong spot and then damage your car as well. Ty Fredrickson underneath Joe Schaefer Jr. right there. Schaefer didn't put up too much of a fight. He knows that there's a couple cars in front of him that are starting to slow down a little bit. And this time by 30 laps in. Laps going by pretty quickly here. We've been clean and green from the drop of the green flag. There are no competition yellows scheduled, nothing like that. So we could have to pit under green if we went green long enough. It would take a lot of green flag laps for that to happen, but stranger things have happened, that's for sure. Brent Smith has got Corey Rogers looking to his outside. Rogers had to tuck back in line. Oh, and caution flag flies. I may have jinxed it there. Adam Powers in the 28 machine had trouble. Immediately jumped back to the pits. We'll see what happened. He was just in front of Nick Fredrickson. And like I said earlier on, got down on that flat. And then I think just stopped the car at that point. Did not actually go around, just called it a day. So Powers in the 28 machine brings out the first caution flag of the evening. Now it is time for the pits to be open. A couple drivers coming down pit road. Probably just to splash fuel. I don't think you're going to see any tire stops just yet. It's a little bit too early for some of these guys to be taking tires. But we do see quite a few drivers come down pit road for some fuel. The fixed setup, so they can't really make adjustments, but they can add gas to the car, and I think that's what we're seeing a couple of them do right here. No tires up in the air from what I could tell. Unless you took tires on accident, that could be another situation that happens. I've done that myself, and it's one of the more frustrating things because then you know the rest of your race is just that much more difficult. You can't fight until the end, and then at that point you just got to hope that you have enough tires left. So Alex Papini going to come back. This time, they'll double up behind the iRacing.com pace car. We'll actually do the choose cone here. Pick an inside and out. Looks like everybody going mostly traditional, and as I say that, a lot of cars going down to the bottom. A couple cars going to benefit from that outside lane. And now Alex Papini in the 47 going to bring this field back to the green. He goes nice and early in the restart zone. Good jump there from the 47. And we are back underway here at Five Flags down into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, good jump for Papini. He's going to be clear out in front of Ty Fredrickson, who takes the second spot away from Rob Nelson. Schaefer down to the bottom of Nelson for third. He'll take that spot away, and don't look now, but here comes Derek Kraus, one of the drivers in the battle for the championship. Oh, and there's contact right behind Kraus. Rob Nelson hard into the outside wall. Scotty Gardner barely got it slowed down. Only a little bit of a tag right there. Scott Kingswan as well slammed on the brakes and came to a stop. A big moment there. Contact between Rob Nelson. I think that was Eddie Dabrowski as well. Danny Mann. Let's see what happened here. You saw the 199 on that outside lane, and I think the 10 just got into the back bumper. Danny Mann right there went down into the 29 of Dabrowski, and then watch Scott Kingswan just barely get it stopped. He probably had a good view of that one there. Let's watch it one more time. Man, that car just barely gets slowed down. These late model stocks have surprisingly good brakes in moments like that, but you can't lock them up. Fortunately, Scott Kingswan was able to still get it slowed down. But a crazy moment there out of turn 4. Gonna bring a couple more cars to pit road. A couple cars to get damage fixed down pit road. But we're just involved in that last caution flag. But 2 cautions so far. Alex Papini has led from the drop of the green flag. It just shows right there. I was muted. I did not see that, so I apologize about that. But that time, big jump there from Papini. Went nice and early. And he's going to have a good run down into turns 1 and 2. Once again, the car in third is going to be the biggest beneficiary of that, I believe. Joe Schaefer Jr. down to the inside of Ty Fredrickson. Fredrickson on the outside lane. Look at Derek Kraus right there in the 4th spot. Hungry to get to the front here. The 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., a little contact down the back straightaway that time. Looking a little tight on the inside lane. Fredrickson on the outside may be able to hold here. The 6 machine just not quite able to pull alongside down the straightaway. And it looks like Ty Fredrickson going to hang on to that second spot. Your top 5 all single file there now. A little further back, Corey Rogers underneath Nick Fredrickson in the 336. Riley Stenjum right there as well. Stenjum in the hunt for a championship if he can get a good run here tonight. Ooh, contact. He and Fredrickson came together there. Just about went bad for Riley Stenjum. So he will get out in front of that 336, and there's a little bit more contact. Fredrickson, I think, showing a little displeasure with Riley Stenjum in the 77. Is now up front, battle for the race lead. Ty Fredrickson underneath Alex Papini. Papini is led from the drop of the green. But now new leader on lap 51, Ty Fredrickson out front. Can he clear this 47 machine for the race lead? Out of 4 that time. Looks like Ty Fredrickson will take that top spot away. Joe Schaefer Jr. going to try to follow through for second as well. Derek Kraus is right there. He's got a lot of speed in that 9 machine. You can see the runs that he gets up off the corner. You can tell that there's a lot of drive up off the corner, and that's what you need here in the late model stock. Eddie Dabrowski going to look to the inside as well in the 29. Derek Kraus goes through. And Papini going to cross back over that time. He'll get in front of Eddie Dabrowski. In contact there, Papini around, Dabrowski around. And a big one out of turn number 2. Alex Papini went around. Let's watch this one more time. Just a little bit of contact from the 29. I think he was worried about the 18 car back behind him. And around goes Alex Papini, and a lot of cars collected right there. You see Brett McCoy in the 1 machine, Anthony Danta. Let's ride on board with Michael Ostiek right here. I think he had a good view of this in the 18 machine. You can see him kind of looking to the inside. And as soon as that happened, nothing he could really do. When somebody spins like that on the bottom, everybody wants to check up and try and let them save it, but eventually everybody has to fan out, and that's what you saw right there. Tough break for a lot of the competitors involved in that, especially the ones in the hunt for a championship. Now a couple cars on pit road. Kristen Swanson, one of those in the 91. I think he may have been getting some damage repaired. Not sure what happened to the 91 machine. But Ty Fredrickson gets the lead, and all chaos broke loose back behind him. Papini got tagged, and nobody really had anywhere to go. The exit of turn 2 at 5 Flags is such a tight spot. A lot of speed at that point in the track, and very hard to check up when there's something happening in front of you. We come back to the choose cone. As we'll get ready once again to send them back green after a third caution flag tonight. We're 58 laps in. Ty Fredrickson now your race leader. Waits a little bit longer in the restart zone that time, and we're back underway. Really good jump from the 36 that time. He'll be clear of Joe Schaefer Jr. in the 6 machine. Now Derek Kraus in the 9 right there for third. Brent Smith in the 4th spot. Riley Stenjum up into the top 5. How about Anthony Danta as well? Started 23rd in this one. Or 22nd, rather. Great run from the 51 machine up inside of the top 10. Kristen Swanson trying to move his way back forward. Swanson in the 91 machine. You can see damage on the right front of that race car. That may have been what he was trying to get fixed on pit road. Hard to say. But up front, your top 3 all nose to tail. Derek Kraus has a little bit of separation between he and Joe Schaefer Jr. Tristan Swanson gets by Alex Papini in the 47. We've still got 16 cars on the lead lap. And Swanson trying to work his way back forward. I think that 91 machine's pretty quick here tonight. We'll just see if he can maintain that speed throughout the event. Alex Papini in the 47 underneath Scotty Gardner. A little contact that time. Just barely. And as we get later into this run, it gets much more difficult for that car on the bottom to get runs up off the corner. You can see the 47 machine just not able to get the power down and the car to rotate at the same time. But that time, Scotty Gardner runs a little bit high up in turn number 1 and allows the 47 to pass through on the bottom. Meanwhile, up front, battle for the race lead. Ty Fredrickson on the inside lane. Joe Schaefer up top. Trying to get the lead on the outside lane. New leader that time, Joe Schaefer in the 6. And how about that on the outside lane? The 6 machine takes that top spot away. Move Ty Fredrickson back to 2nd. Derek Kraus right there in 3rd. Look at the run from the 9 machine that time. He was all over the back bumper of the 36, had to get out of it a little bit, not make contact. Kraus right there on the back bumper. And caution flag flies right as Derek Kraus, I think, was looking to the outside. Got King Swan in the 55. Around in turn 2. Let's see what happened here. No, and I don't think there was actually any contact. I think just clipped the apron going through 1 and 2, and around he went. Riding on board right here with Eddie Dabrowski Yeah, and I don't think there was ever any contact. It looked like the 29, or 55 rather, just went around. And tough break. And now we see tires on the left sides of the 36 machine. A little bit of a strategy play there for him to come down before lap 100 to put left sides on. But Joe Schaefer Jr. is still going to be our race leader, electing to stay out, not coming down pit road just yet. Choose cone once again. Your top two really haven't changed much as far as choosing their lines. They both, nobody up on the front row wants to give up a row. Track position's too important here as we get ready to send them back green once again. 4 caution flags so far. We're 75 laps in. And Joe Schaefer Jr. going to bring Derek Kraus and the rest of the field to the green. We're back racing. In turn number 1, good start for your top 2. Derek Kraus going to get down in front of Trent Smith. Down the back straightaway, Riley Stenjum trying to clear Corey Rogers for the 4th spot. He will do so down into turn 3. And just that quickly, everybody already single file. It's crazy how quickly everybody's wanting to get back into line, get back into their rhythm. They know there's a long way to go in this one. But one driver who's not taking his time is Derek Kraus. He's putting some pressure on Joe Schaefer Jr. out front. Your top 10 right here, all nose to tail. Everybody trying to make it to this second half of the race. You really just want to put yourself in the best position possible when that pit stop comes around so you don't have to race too hard towards the end of the race. You're going to have to race hard, but you don't want to have to work your way forward. You want to play the defense here late in these for sure. As Joe Schaefer Jr. continues to show the way. He's got Derek Kraus and Trent Smith right behind him. Your biggest mover so far, Anthony Danta, in the 51, started dead last on this field. Knocking on the door of the top 5 with Corey Rogers right there in the 17. Still 17 cars on the lead lap, too, so. Riley Stenjum to the inside of Trent Smith for the 3rd spot. Stenjum going to take that spot through turns 3 and 4. Smith didn't put up too much of a fight there. Well, the speed difference between he and the 77. And I think he just knows that there is a time to get him back later in the race. You don't want to battle too hard right now, because everything in this first half of the race is about setting yourself up for the second half. About 13 laps shy of halfway. Joe Schaefer Jr. has led for quite some time now. And up front, looking at the lap times, Derek Kraus really close These last two, he's definitely been a little bit quicker that last time, actually a 10th quicker than the 6 of Joe Schaefer. Let's see if Kraus can make something happen here. Derek Kraus all over the back bumper, actually going to look to the outside through turns 1 and 2. How about that? On the outside lane, Derek Kraus down the back straightaway, trying to take this top spot away. Through turns 3 and 4 that time, Derek Kraus to the lead on the top side, lap number 90. Derek Kraus out front. Joe Schaefer Jr. in the 6 machine did not have enough of a run on the bottom lane. Could not get the car rotated, and Derek Kraus is your new race leader here, about 10 laps shy of halfway. You got a 5-car breakaway out front right here. Anthony Danta, last spot in the top 5. We've got 2 sets of cars side by side right here. Corey Rogers gets passed by Tristan Swanson, and Eric White gets passed by Brett McCoy. Swanson working his way back forward. He's up inside of the top 10. Looking underneath, Eric White through turns 3 and 4. Give Tristan Swanson the 7th spot. And this is the part of the race where we see different pit strategies really coming to life. A lot of drivers doing different things. Is now for the 4th spot. Anthony Danta underneath Trent Smith in the 3 machine. Trying to take that spot away, just 5 laps shy of halfway. Man, Derek Kraus out front in the 9 machine has really opened up that gap since getting around Joe Schaefer. Schaefer in the 6 machine goes up to the outside lane. I think seeing the pace difference going to allow Stenjum, Smith, and Danta to pass right there through turns 3 and 4. So that'll shuffle your top 5 around. Move Riley Stenjum up to 2nd. Stenjum 3rd in the points. Trying to track down Derek Kraus, both in the points and on the racetrack. As this time by, we will have 100 laps to go, halfway in, halfway home, here in the Coastline Surf 200. Looking at the lap times right now, Derek Kraus actually about 2/10 quicker than Riley Stenjum that last time. Kraus definitely the fastest car on the racetrack of those still running. We've got now 16 cars on the lead lap. Battle for second still fresh as Riley Stenjum has taken that 2nd spot away, but not by much, as Trent Smith is right there to pounce if there were to be a mistake. As Anthony Danta moves into that 2nd spot, or sorry, 3rd spot, Move the 51 up onto the podium as he's going to set his sights on Riley Stenjum. He's came to life here towards the second half of this run. 51 machines definitely got some speed. Brett McCoy down underneath Joe Schaefer Jr. That's for the 5th spot on the racetrack. Move the one machine back up into the top 5, which is good because he was involved in that big one out of turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's got the car mostly repaired and still making good progress. Started 11th in this one, just missed out on the invert here tonight. And now for the 2nd spot, Anthony Danta to the inside. You can see the lap time difference still, even with this many laps on the tires, and Derek Kraus approaching some lap traffic here. That 9 machine, hence quicker than the rest of the field right now. Only one really even close is the car in 2nd. Also, Ty Fredrickson in the 36. He was the 2nd fastest car on the track. But he's still being caught by the number 9 machine of Derek Kraus as we've got a couple cars coming to pit road, it looks like. Corey Rogers. That's Kenny Storkson as well. Both of those cars coming down pit road, and I think we may be into the green flag stops. And actually, no, I believe those were maybe meatballs being served. On iRacing, there's a flag called a meatball flag. The black flag with an orange circle in it, they call it a meatball. And that is given to these drivers when there's too much damage. You may be asking yourself, it doesn't look like there's too much damage on the 29 machine. Well, actually, the damage is on the tire. They've blown out what I could assume was the right front tire. They don't have actual blowouts on iRacing, but you have to bring it to pit road to get a new tire because the car will no longer turn efficiently. We've seen a couple drivers get those. Alex Papini the next to fall victim to the meatball. And that's affecting a lot of drivers here towards the back half of this lead lap group. Got King Swan, Eddie Dabrowski, Kenny Storkson, Corey Rogers, all drivers that brought those machines to pit road to get new right side tires on under green. So now 10 cars on the lead lap. Joe Schaefer Jr. as well. In the 6 machine, you can see him bringing it down pit road as soon as it happens. And man, you got to wonder if we get a caution in all of this, what happens next? It's really going to shake things up if we were to get a caution with all of these pit stops happening. And if you're one of these cars that just had to pit under green, you got to hope that Derek Kraus starts to lose some of that pace and has to pit himself at some point. Remember, they're not fuel stops. Don't think we're close on fuel just yet. But the tires, you may be able to benefit from having those fresher tires, being able to run those faster lap times, especially now that we're past the halfway point. Coming back this time to 80 laps to go. The next driver to fall, Trent Smith, you can see how much wheel he's got in that car. trying to get it rotated. And he gets it down pit road. Scotty Gardner as well in the 109. This will be a better look at what the car handles like when you do have that black flag. And actually, I believe it was Eric White I was supposed to be talking about. May have misspoke there, but Tristan Swanson going to bring the 91 machine down pit road, and I think it's now time. Derek Kraus and Riley Stenjum, they may be forced down pit road here soon, because Tristan Swanson bringing that machine down as well. There's only 5 cars or so that have not come to pit road. You're Derek Kraus, you don't want to overcut this pit stop too much, hoping for a caution, because you do have the lead right now. You can't afford to play a little bit of a risk. Is Tristan Swanson going to put 4 tires on that machine, and he'll be out of pit road? And he'll come back out right in front of Ty Fredrickson, who currently runs in the 4th spot on the lead lap. The 36 machine playing a great strategy here. He's sitting just a couple seconds in front of your race leader, Derek Kraus, staying on the lead lap, but doesn't want to put too much pressure, or too much heat in those tires, I should say. Your top 5 cars have not come to pit road on this run. Everybody back behind them has just recently pit since the lap 100 mark. So the question now is, when and do we see these top 5 cars come to pit road? Lap 130 up on the board. Derek Kraus doesn't seem to be falling off pace too much. One driver that is starting to lose some pace, that 77 machine of Riley Stenjum in 18:48 that last lap. Almost a second off of Derek Kraus in the number 9 machine. You can see Rob Nelson in the 199 just drive around the outside as if Stenjum was not there, really having to work that car through the center. In 18:44 last time, the slowest car in the racetrack. Just trying to save as much of the car as he can. Man, the 77 of Stenjum, you're losing that many spots. You got to wonder when he's going to call it and come to pit road. I know that they're wanting a caution flag to happen, but Stenjum losing a lot of time here, at risk of going a lap down soon to Derek Kraus. And you look a little bit further back, Kraus on the very top of your screen there. Definitely going to catch Stenjum here in these next couple laps. And there it is, the black flag given to Riley Stenjum. He's going to have to bring it to pit road this time. So there's another driver with their hand being forced here. Riley Stenjum down pit road. We'll see if he takes 2 or 4. As we have got an interesting race heating up here with about 65 laps to go. Stenjum in the box. Obviously, you're going to see the right sides go on that car. Question, though, does he take 2 or 4? You don't necessarily have to pit for fuel. And 2 tires is going to be the move for Riley Stenjum. He will join out and try to bring as much of this back as he can. And now, race leader Derek Kraus down pit road. Anthony Danta in the 51 going to try to follow him as well. And Derek Kraus brings the field, or brings the 9 machine down pit road. He led a lot of laps there, had a big lead. And now that lead going to go to Ty Fredrickson in the 36 machine. Fredrickson came down to get left side tires, did not get right side tires. As right now, Fredrickson leads by 5 seconds over Scotty Gardner. And the question is, does Ty Fredrickson come to pit road? He's got a pretty big advantage. And the time difference, I mean, Derek Kraus about a half a second quicker. Ty Fredrickson has about 60 laps to go, so it would take a long time for Kraus to catch him. He may be able to. But what do you do if you're Ty Fredrickson? Do you pit now and lose all that time, or do you try to hold out for a caution flag? I think his bed may be made here, and he may have to hold out for a caution. Fredrickson continues to show the way. The rest of the field is pretty spread out. We've got a couple cars, looks like 6 cars, 1 lap down, handful of cars, 2 laps down. And I think those black flags midway through the run really shuffled things around. Not everybody that came to pit road had a black flag, but most of the drivers that were on pit road were not down there by choice, we'll put it that way. Riley Stenjum on the back bumper of Trent Smith. That is for the 6th spot on the racetrack. Stenjum to the bottom. I think Stenjum lost a lot of track position coming to pit road that late with that tire going down. We'll see if he's able to gain it back here. Stenjum goes to the inside of Trent Smith. He'll slide up in front and take that spot away. We're just shy of 50 to go. Now Derek Kraus around Scotty Gardner for the 2nd spot. So now the chase begins. You can see the lap times there. Derek Kraus significantly faster than Ty Fredrickson. At some point, Kraus in the 9 machine is going to catch Ty Fredrickson. But will he have enough time? Inside of 50 to go. We've been green for quite some time now. As things are seeming to calm down here at 5 Flags. There is Derek Kraus compared to Ty Fredrickson. He's trying to move his way forward. You look at the gap, it moves about a second every 2 laps. So the 9 machine putting the laps in here, he's going to get there. And I think he's going to get there in enough time. Trent Smith up in front of him. Up into the wall right there. Running in the 7th position. Alex Papini 2 laps down in the 47. He was one of the first cars to see that black flag. Or meatball flag, whatever you want to call it. Had to bring that machine down pit road for tires. Right now we have 3 cars on the lead lap. Ty Fredrickson leads Derek Kraus by about 7 seconds. That gap just getting smaller and smaller by the lap. Scotty Gardner running in the 3rd position. Anthony Danta in the 51. He just unlapped himself. Got around Ty Fredrickson there. So now we have 4 cars on the lead lap. Still green here with 40 laps to go. Ty Fredrickson leads by 5 seconds now over Derek Kraus. The lap times beginning to fall off a little bit for Derek Kraus. He's not as much quicker, but he is still cutting into that lead pretty good. But the question now is, does Ty Fredrickson have enough fuel? And did he hit the strategy perfect? Look at the lap times last time around. Kraus about 0.4 of a second quicker. The gap right now, 4 seconds. And I think if the running order does stay true, Derek Kraus is going to have the championship locked up as well. But Derek Kraus, I'm sure, would want to win the race if he can win the championship. The gap getting smaller. 3.5 seconds at the line that time. It'll be 30 to go for Ty Fredrickson at the line next time around. Inside of 3 seconds is the gap. This 36 machine has done everything in his power to try and hold off Derek Kraus. But that 9 machine is coming with a full head of steam. You can see him now down the back straightaway. And as soon as he gets into your mirror, you can almost feel the mistakes coming up. Just gets so much harder to keep that car in a forward direction. And you can see the pace difference as well. Brett McCoy behind him on fresher tires. Looking to the inside here. Fredrickson going to try to minimize the time lost. But Derek Kraus getting bigger and bigger in his rearview mirror. Riley Stenjum gonna unlap himself right there. And now the gap 1.2 seconds for Derek Kraus. Kraus really starting to put some good laps together here. Coming back to 27 to go. And you can see the 9 machine right there. Difference that time, 0.4 of a second in favor of Derek Kraus. And Ty Fredrickson is going to have to defend like he's never defended before if he wants to keep this 9 car behind him. But I think it may not be enough. That 9 machine has got a lot more pace. Now we've got 25 laps to go. Be a long time for Fredrickson to have to hold off Derek Kraus. He's going to move to the bottom lane here. He'll try to defend the bottom, but he's not going to be able to. He'll run up the racetrack, but Derek Kraus too strong on that outside lane. New leader down into turns 1 and 2. Give it to Derek Kraus. And now Kraus going to try to drive off into the sunset. Anthony Danta 10 seconds behind. A long green flag run here has really allowed this field to get spread out. Is Derek Kraus going to try to get up to Riley Stenjum and maybe put him a lap down? Stenjum, one of the cars that he's battling in points. This time by 21 laps to go. Nine of Derek Kraus, not quite the fastest car on the racetrack that last time by, but pretty close. Anthony Danta just a little bit quicker in the 51 machine, but like I said, 10 seconds back, 20 laps to go. He's going to need a caution here. One driver that would love to see a caution flag is Ty Fredrickson in the 36. Riley Stenjum almost tags Scotty Gardner right there. Gardner trying to hang on for position. This is the last spot in the top 5. They battle right in front of your race leader, Derek Kraus. Both of them trying to stay on the lead lap, but I don't think Gardner is going to be able to, and I really don't think Stenjum is going to be able to either. That 9 machine just so good up off the corner. Oh, and caution is out. Derek Kraus around. And oh my goodness. Damage on the front end of that race car. That is going to change everything here. Ty Fredrickson, I think, has got a set of right side tires in the pits. We've only got 15 laps to go, but this could get interesting here, folks. And I actually don't think Ty Fredrickson is going to come down pit road. But the yellow flag flies here. See what happened. This is the lap before. Oh, and I think Scotty Gardner in the 109 just got a little bit tight. Got into Derek Kraus in the 9 machine. and sent him for a slide, which takes his big lead away and is going to open up the door for things to get exciting here inside of 15 laps to go. Ty Fredrickson elected to stay out there. I thought he may have had a set of tires in the pits, but I believe I was mistaken maybe. The field going to double up here. Anthony Danta in the 51. I'd keep an eye on that machine right there. He's got a lot of speed left. And he was closing the gap on Derek Kraus when Derek Kraus was involved with Gardner and Stenjum. Let's see what happens. Final 13 laps in the Winter Challenge Series season. We are underway. 12-lap shootout here at the Five Flags Speedway. Derek Kraus gets the early advantage down into turn number 1. Ty Fredrickson into second back behind him. And Fredrickson in the 36 machine just does not have enough of a run. Anthony Danta in the 51 machine looking to his inside. Through turns 1 and 2, the 36 of Fredrickson on the outside, lane there. Not able to hold off, move Anthony Danta into second, and he will set his sights on Derek Kraus here with 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go that time. Brett McCoy gets by Ty Fredrickson for the third spot. Brings Eric White with him in the 6 machine. And now out front, Anthony Danta is going to have to try to track down Derek Kraus, who's about 0.6 of a second out in front of him. Is there enough time? So here comes Scotty Gardner up into the top 5. Tristan Swanson's right there as well, but Swanson 1 lap down. Eric White up in front of him, also 1 lap down. Swanson in the battle for the lucky dog here in these final couple laps. This time by 7 to go, coming back to 6 laps to go this time. And Anthony Danta in the 51 starting to put some laps together here. He's closing the gap to Derek Kraus. Scotty Gardner as well. He's got a lot more speed than your top 2. 5 laps to go this time. Scotty Gardner, if he can get by Brett McCoy, he may be able to take and steal this victory here. 5 to go. The gap is really big right there. But Gardner has a lot more pace than your top 2. I was looking at the times right there. He may have came down to get tires here. That time by 0.3 quicker than Derek Kraus, but it will be 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go for the number 9 machine of Derek Kraus. He's got Anthony Danta all over his back bumper, and Scotty Gardner closing as well. Down the back straightaway. The popsicle stick's going to be up in the air this time. 2 laps to go. 2 to go for Derek Kraus. Anthony Danta right there on the back bumper, ready to make this thing exciting. We've ran 198 laps so far. It all comes down to this. Anthony Danta right there in the 51. All over the back bumper of Kraus. They come to the white flag this time. Final time at 5 flags. 3 cars all right there for the win. Danta peeked underneath Kraus in turn number 1 that time. Here comes Scotty Gardner in the 109. Keep an eye on that machine. Into turn number 3 for the final time. Is Anthony Danta going to be able to get there? He looks to the inside, and it's going to be Derek Kraus picking up the victory in the final race of the season. He wins the championship as well in the Winter Challenge Series. Anthony Danta comes home 2nd. Scotty Gardner 3rd. Brett McCoy 5th, or 4th, sorry. Trent Smith, 5th. Riley Stenjum, 6th. Ty Fredrickson, 7th. Eric White, 8th. Tristan Swanson comes home 9th. And Joe Schaefer Jr. comes home 10th. And that 9 machine was starting to lose some ground there at the end. Starting to have a little bit of fall off. But ultimately able to hang on was Derek Kraus, and he is your winner here and champion this season with the Winter Challenge Series. And our winner and champion burning it down on the front straightaway. Let's grab a word from our winner, if we can. All right, race winner here tonight and champion with the Winter Challenge Series this season. Derek Kraus up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, well, a well-executed race from you here tonight. You had to track down Ty Fredrickson from, it was close to 15 seconds. It was a long way you were behind, and ultimately got the job done. I thought that caution there at the end might shake things up a little bit, because some of the cars back behind you were starting to make up a little bit of pace. Anthony Danta and Scotty Gardner kept it close there at the end, but ultimately winner and champion. How do you feel?
Feels good. Had a pretty good year overall. I won a couple races, and it was fun to do overall. So I don't know, it's a fun season, and can't thank Brett and everybody enough for putting this on every year and making it the best that they can.
Yeah, it was a fun. I joined into this series last season, this last race, and since then, getting to know everybody this season, it's been a lot of fun. We've had some good moments, some exciting moments, some chaotic moments, but all in all, it's been a really good season, and been fun watching you guys duke it out every week. That 9 machine has had a lot of speed all season long, and hasn't always had the luck, but when you've had the luck on your side, you've been right there, and even got a couple wins. So capping off this season, I know you thank Brett. Who else do you have to thank for championship caliber season?
Yeah, obviously Brett, and then you guys for broadcasting it, and you guys do a really good job with it. So that's always really cool to see and have on YouTube or wherever it is. So obviously those guys are big help for sure. And then everybody that races in it, it's one of the more popular leagues, which is really cool to see. Just being able to have everybody, I mean, I guess everybody's from all over the place, but a large majority of the people are from Wisconsin and race in real life too. So thanks everybody for showing up to the league and making it fun and making it challenging. So hopefully we'll be back next year and try to do the same thing.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Derek, on a win here this evening and a championship with the Winter Challenge Series. Hopefully talk to you soon, but good luck to you in the Super Late Model this year.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right, your winner here tonight, Derek Kraus. We're going to try to grab our second and third place finishers here. There we go. We'll get Anthony Danta up in the broadcast booth here. There we go. All right, second place finisher here tonight. Anthony Dant up in the broadcast booth, so close. I think maybe one or two more laps, either you or Scotty would have had Derek Kraus. But P2 here tonight. Tell me about your run.
Yeah, it was good. I think Scotty had those tires there at the end, so a couple more laps, he might have got both of us. But I got there, and I knew that I was going to have to move him a little bit if I wanted to get by him, and I just didn't want to take him out on accident. So I tried the best I could. It was a good race. I liked the long green flag run. It was nice to be able to save some tire early and work my way to second, and then just try to hold the position there at the end.
Yeah, that long green flag run definitely shook things up, and I don't know if you got a first-hand experience of it. A lot of cars got the meatball flag and forced the hand of coming down pit road early. I don't think everybody wanted to necessarily, but a lot of cars were forced to come down pit road early on with the meatball flag, and it really made for an interesting race. I think Kraus came from like 11 seconds back to pass Fredrickson, so all in all, a fun one, and good to see the 51 machine up at the front. Started dead last here tonight, and worked your way only forward.
Yeah, I had a little driver error there in qualifying and hit the wall in the front stretch, so I didn't get a lap in, which I wasn't really concerned about because the last couple years here we've had long runs like that, so I knew the first 50 laps I wanted to take it easy, so starting back there kind of helped me conserve some tire, and then I worked my way up to second there once, like you said, everyone was having to pit for meatballs and all that kind of stuff, and then I just tried to pace with Kraus. I think I was like 8 or 9 seconds back when we both pitted, and was about 11 after we pitted, and I kind of wish it would have just stayed green. I know I would have got by Fredrickson because I was gaining like a second a lap, but it gave me a shot there at the end, and yeah, like you said, maybe a couple more laps, but Scotty had fresh tires with only 20 laps to go, so he probably was in the catbird seat if there was any more laps left.
Yeah, I think one or two more laps he may have been able to get there, but still a great run for both of you guys. Second place finish here tonight. Who do you have to thank for P2 in the season finale?
Yeah, just thank you guys for doing the broadcast every week, and Brett for putting on the season all year and dealing with us every week, complaining and crying about all the rules and stuff like that. And then just thank my wife upstairs for taking care of the boys while I'm down here playing a video game on a Monday night.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you. Second place finish to cap off the season, and hopefully we can see you back soon.
Sounds good, thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, now to talk to our third place finisher here tonight, Scotty Gardner, about maybe 1 or 2 laps short. I don't know, let you guys be the judge in the chat below, but third place finisher here this evening, Scotty Gardner up in the broadcast booth. Man, I saw the tires go on that last pit stop, and I think maybe 1 or 2 more laps you would have had them. But close here tonight, P3.
Yeah, we had the car once we got the tires, but I did it kind of the wrong way. I didn't mean to get into Derek there. Spun him out, and it probably looks way worse now that I was the only one that needed tires on track. But it was fun there at the end, slicing and dicing.
Yeah, it's always fun to have tires, especially in a situation like that where everybody else is kind of in a struggle bus and you're just hammered down, full throttle. You're not really struggling. It feels like you kind of feel like a Superman when you're in that position. But like I said, I think 1 or 2 more laps you would have probably gotten a victory here tonight. But still a great run for the 109 machine. Recovered from that spin there at the end, and ultimately P3 here tonight. Tell me a little bit more about your race. I know that during that long green flag run, I think you were one of the drivers that was forced down pit road with the meatball flag. So what was your thought process as soon as that happened?
Well, luckily no meatball. I was
okay.
I was pretty rough there, saving tires. I think I made it 183 laps somehow. It was yelling at me, told me I needed new tires, but we just kept letting it rip.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers, I was talking to Anthony Dant about it. A lot of the drivers their hands were forced. They had to come to pit road for those meatballs, or to serve that meatball flag and get new tires on the car. But luckily you avoided that here tonight. Made the right strategy call. Just, I think, like I said, needed 1 or 2 more laps, but still a great third place run to wrap up the season for you here. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish in the final race of the season?
I just want to thank Brett McCoy for putting this deal on for us. It's fun when we're not racing to to scratch our itch here on Mondays. But I'll thank the real sponsors. It's never a bad thing to shout them out on the real race car. Bob's Auto in Blue Island, Illinois, Airline Towing in Blue Island, Illinois, Hoax Graphics, Jaden Corsetti over there in Indiana, Blue Collar Bros, Suburban Terrazza, Damn It Race Videos, Go To Market, and ScottyGardner.com.
Alrighty, well, quick shout out one more time to Jaden Kurtasi and the Hoax Graphics campaign. I'm actually wearing a Jaden shirt right now, so check out Jaden if you guys haven't already. But congratulations to you one more time, Scotty, on your third place finish here tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, now to talk to our fourth place finisher here this evening, Brett McCoy. We'll get him up into the broadcast booth, and he is the man behind the scenes that makes this show run. We're going to grab a word from him. Fourth place finish here tonight, Brett. Just shy of the podium. I think if that caution wouldn't have came out, you may have had a chance at it there, but when that caution came out, everybody got all restacked and didn't quite have the tires to go up and get Scotty Gardner there at the end. But still a great run for you here tonight. One of your better runs this season. And tell me how you feel after the season finale.
No, I really liked the track. It was definitely the best run I had all year, most competitive. I knew I didn't know Scotty hadn't taken tires, but once I figured that out, man, I had no chance. He went by me like I was tied to a tree. The main reason I wanted to jump in here is just to thank all the racers that came out and raced with us this winter. I really appreciate it. I think we got things turned around about the halfway point of the season, and the racing really cleaned up, and it was just a lot of fun. Looks like I think Kraus is going to be our champion, so congratulations to Derek. Thank you for a fantastic job with the broadcast. I don't think anybody could have done better. I really appreciate it. And everybody just be on the lookout. I've already got a tentative schedule. We'll get it posted here probably in the next couple of weeks, and hope to have you back with us next year and just keep building on things. But really, really do appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, Brett, as well. You're the man that puts all this stuff on behind the scenes, and being a league owner, like it is a very tough. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to stick with and to put enough effort in to put on a show like we do week in, week out. So, congratulations to you on a fourth place run here this evening, and like you said, I'm looking forward to the next season and looking forward to what we can do in the future.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You as well, Brett. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. That was Brett McCoy, the man who does everything behind the scenes here in the Winter Challenge Series. I'm just a voice up here in the booth. I get to talk about what's going on. He does all the work and makes this show run and run smoothly. And like he said, we got it figured out the second half of the season. We saw some great racing throughout this Winter Challenge Series season. So thank you guys very much for tuning in to tonight's season finale with the Winter Challenge Series, the Coastline Surf 200. Derek Kraus, your winner and champion. We'll get the rest of the results up on screen for you guys. And we'll run through our final finishing order. Derek Kraus, your winner. Anthony Danta, second. Scotty Gardner, third. Brett McCoy, fourth. Trent Smith, fifth. Riley Stenjum comes home in the sixth spot. Ty Fredrickson, seventh. Eric White, eighth. Kristen Swanson, 9th. Joe Schaefer Jr., 10th. Corey Rogers, 11th. Alex Papini, 12th. Kenny Storkson, 13th. Scott Kingswan, 14th. Steve Wright, 15th. Rob Nelson, 16th. Eddie Dabrowski, 17th. Nick Fredrickson, 18th. Michael Ostiek, 19th. Danny Mann, 20th. Dylan Roberts, 21st. And Adam Powers comes home in the 22nd spot here tonight. So that will do it for us here tonight, folks. Thank you guys for watching the Winter Challenge Series season. It has been a fun time up in the broadcast booth, and looking forward to next season. We do have the Leave the Pack Super Series Championship coming up tomorrow night as well. Don't miss that one. It's going to be a fun finish. Kyle Terzak, Tracy Petter going head-to-head. 3 points separating those two. So it's going to be a fun race heading into tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Winston Neal, signing it off. Talk to you guys tomorrow night. If you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button for more iRacing content. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.